I haven't played ranked in a couple days on this account.
Alright, I see. So you've not played at all. Is there a specific champ you've been playing a lot of this season?
Um, Jax probably. I played Kha'Zix a lot at the beginning of the season, and then I've kind of slowly just migrated towards like Jax, more like kind of tankier champions because it seemed to work out a little bit more.
Alright, I see. Well, I think Kha'Zix is in like the best spot he's ever been, but just play what you want and we'll go over that real quick. So far, you have
Okay.
Sivir, Riven on enemy team. You have a Janna. So at this MMR, I don't really talk about like counter picks for jungle, or even like if you see the enemy team has like I don't know a Jhin or something, and you want to play like Jax, like that's a pretty good matchup for Jax. But at this MMR, it really does not matter at all. It's all about
My team banned Jax.
yeah,
So
it's all good. But at this MMR, it's all about like smaller things that add up that allow you to win. It's not like counter picks do nothing pretty much at this MMR.
yeah, I usually kind of just pick what I want.
Do you go sorcery secondary on Warwick?
I haven't played work. I feel like I should just for the movement speed, but
Yeah, that's what I do. I go water walking and celerity. It's pretty good with this W, and also for river control. Very good at this MMR. Like at this MMR, I never go gathering storm or anything. Obviously, don't do that on Warwick, but on other champs. All right, this is an interesting game. You've got Dana mid, Nasus top. What do you think of that?
I personally don't like playing with Nasus on my team just because it's kind of just a boring lane.
And
Nothing usually goes
and
on.
they're all last hitters, like Veigar players. They don't leave lane.
Yeah, and then if you gank top lane and like whatever, I think it might be Riven jungle.
Yeah, that is Riven jungle. It's actually a really good matchup for you if it is Riven jungle. It might be Fizz as well, but actually might be Fizz jungle. That's even better for you. You destroy Fizz 1v1. Any melee champ pretty much Warwick destroys 1v1. But yeah, so far you got Tristana Janna versus Sivir, Alistar. Mid lane is most likely Syndra versus Dana. Top lane, I'd say Riven versus Nasus and against Fizz. So as far as your lane matchups go, what is your goal for this game? What's your win con in your opinion?
I'd probably say play on bot just because Nasus isn't gonna. He's just gonna be farming it out, not really pushing the lane or anything.
Right, and what about mid lane?
Mid lane, I feel like that matchup she's gonna get pushed in, pretty hard early, until she hits 6, and then once she hits 6, it'll be a little easier for her.
Good answer. I wasn't expecting that. So that's actually very true. Some Danas, if you have you ever watched like S Dana too, he knows how to play the mage matchup as Dana, and sometimes he has the push. But at this MMR, I doubt this Dana knows how to have the push on the enemy Syndra. So most of the time, Syndra should have the push on Dana, and top lane as well, like we expect. Oh, it's Fizz top. Okay. Honestly, I wouldn't focus top lane, but since it's a melee matchup, I think you can actually maybe get an early kill for Nasus or yourself. But that's up to you.
Yeah.
So, anyways, do you want me to give you like live step by step guides, but like to what to do, or you want me to like just note down everything you're doing wrong and then tell you at the end of the game? It's your choice.
You can probably do live, and then if you see anything like extremely bad, maybe like hint it at the end of the game.
All right, that's fine. Do you go refillable potion or rejuve bead on Warwick?
Rejuve.
Okay. I typically do refillable because I feel like it's so much more pressure, but just see what you're comfortable with. It gives you more like 1v2 potential in the enemy jungle or your jungle, but
I'll try it this time.
sure. You should probably undo your trinket because you changed them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have it. Oh, you still don't. Holy shit, I didn't know that. It's pretty shitty. You don't have a trinket for 2 minutes. It's a good start.
Oh, that's great. Sick.
You misclicked the red string. It's fine. Now you can't really ward an entrance, but So you're gonna start bot side?
Yeah, I feel like level 3 Nasus with his wither on Fizz.
Alright, what am I looking at? Holy shit.
I don't know what the start is, but okay.
Do you know at what time in the game Nasus level 3?
No, I don't pay attention to. I played Nasus top like a few times,
Alright,
but
well,
most of the time, every Nasus I've ever had on my team usually feeds. So,
well, let's hope this one doesn't. Anyways, what is your typical path on work? Do you do situational or just every game the same path?
I typically will do if I start bot red, wolves blue, and then look for a gank or go into river.
Okay, first tip I can give you is I'd say do red to blue because a lot of people cheese and getting 3 buffed early game is actually really huge. Not only does it stop your farming and less CDR, less DPS, you also will have less gank potential with no mana. So that's why I always do red to blue or blue to red. I mean, not always blue to red, but I would ask for a ward if I started blue.
Okay. Do you normally take W second on Warwick?
Yeah, of course.
I've seen people take
W's better. You could have walked through the blast gun, saves you like 2-3 seconds.
Okay.
Alright, now just while you're doing this, just look at top lane. Looks like Nasus has a push. Interesting. I wouldn't really pay attention to the map to see where Riven started, but most likely bot side because Riven's level 1 leash is pretty shit. Why'd you smite it?
I'm not sure. I shouldn't have though. That was really low.
Alright. Alright. Riven should be topside. You pretty much destroyed her 1v1. What is your thought process here? You guys have no vision on any entrance. I guess Nasus just placed a ward on River. So, but you have no vision on the Raptor's path. So you're gonna go get some vision yourself, or?
Yeah.
Alright. So right buff is up, your mid laner's recalling. And Riven just warded.
Yeah. I think she did it there.
Look at mid lane, see what's happening mid lane. He's pretty low. I'm pretty sure you could 2v1 that if you played right. I mean, don't go mid lane though. You won't kill him.
I think I'm gonna try for this red. She's gonna have to back.
Now she might come for you. If she's on the war, she's gonna come for you, I'm pretty sure. Unless Riven's like super low. I'd say pull it out towards the brush. Drink your potion just in case. Yeah, he's pretty low. And they're all coming. Should just smite it for the health if you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
I didn't think Goods was gonna come too.
I mean, alright. I'll write that one down. Alright, press tab, let's see Riven CS, 17. So odds are her Gromp is up. She's level, yeah, so she did Raptors instead of Gromp. So her Gromp would be up right now if her had invaded. Also, let's look at bot lane. Why do this camp? What's happening? I think that's an easy gank for you. That lane is really easy to gank. Smite this and just run bottom. Oh, they already won. Bad W by Tris. I'd say go to his Gromp right now. It's actually risky because his wolves just spawn. He'll be on wolves right now. Do you know the timer on wolves respawn on first buff rotation? It's about 4:45, 4:40, depending on the clear. But if they did red, I mean blue to wolves, then it's like 4:40, and that's what she did. So Janna's not coming. Potions. Pretty sure you win. You would have maybe won that actually. Close. If you drank your potions earlier, you would have won that. Oh, you still? No. If you drank your potions earlier, you had that.
Okay.
But obviously not used to it, like you said, but small things add up.
You usually go TMF first on Warwick?
Yeah, pretty much for the clear.
Yeah, I mean. Diana got a kill mid.
He's
She got 2 kills mid.
yeah, he's still killed her twice. Riven's Raptor spawned, but you don't have team out yet, so it's pretty bad. Wait, why'd you? Okay, actually, that's fine. I guess rushing Gretz mid here is fine because you couldn't really buy anything else. Just an extra longsword. You don't have enough gold for team out. That's fine. Especially since they have like 3 melee gems, so you can easily auto. No, 2 melee gems, not counting Alistar. I press tab. So you should, even though Riven beat you 1v1, since you have Red Smite, if you use it properly and drink your potions properly, you'll still win 1v1. That's how good Warwick is. His 1v1 potential against melee champs is insane. That can't kite you. I'd say, do you max your Q?
I actually no. I actually am not paying attention.
It's fine.
I normally do max W though.
I'd say you can eat this wave mid. Actually, does Diana have TP? Press tab. No, she doesn't.
No, she
yeah,
doesn't.
since it's a cannon waves are the only waves I stay for, if I can ever stay for wave. That's gonna crash the tower. Xpigus is like pretty much 3/4 of a level, really, the entire wave. It's fine.
That's unfortunate.
So you should just ward Infernal before doing your red buff, I'd say. Just be careful.
Okay.
She might be in your jungle waiting for you. Just try to sidestep something in case. You're fine. Alright, that's good. You're fighting bottom, but you're not 6. Yeah, they're dead. Riven stopped too. Janna's dead. Okay. If you had a pink ward, you could probably do dragon here, but you don't. It's fine. Honestly, at this point, I prioritize Krugs over Raptors like next time because you don't have Tiamat yet, and they're just so much easier to clear for you. Just for like future purposes. Should use your smite too, since you have 2 charges. Alright, tier 1 mid is down. I'd say go for Scuttle, and with the mid pressure you have, maybe you can go for Infernal when she comes back from B.
Okay.
They might go for a fight bottom. Drop a ward like behind that brush.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Covers an entrance. And just use, you can use your E on Scuttle. Just to finish a faster. Look at bot lane. Let's see how low's the tower. It's pretty much full.
Yeah.
All the stars, the whole 6, I think. Okay, so Riven's mid. You can probably counter gank this really well. Is he gonna stall? Press W? It's fine.
Oh.
Never mind.
Okay. She doesn't need help.
Yeah.
I want to see if her blue's up.
Should not be. You can go on Alistar. They're fighting bottom. Oh. I don't know what Janna's doing. He had a flank. Or press W. It's inactive as well. It's a pretty nice ult.
That's really unfortunate. Up Diana's going.
Yeah, you have mid pressure, so it's fine. You should just do Dragon right now, or Recall.
Yep. What did Jag?
Yeah, ping your team, because you don't do a lot of damage yet. If you hold Q, you don't get knocked back by Dragon. Same thing there, like your gank bottom, if you held Q, you probably would have killed one of them. Jeez, why is no one hitting Dragon? Thank God. Nice.
Do you guys Cinderhulk on Warwick?
Yeah, just buy a
sometimes I take
Cinder.
Warrior.
No, if you're behind and you have no tank, I mean, you do have a tank this game, but he's 0-2. Yeah, I'd say I think Cinderhulk's just way more reliable and consistent.
Okay.
If you had like, I don't know, Galio mid, it'd be like triple melee comp. Maybe you can go warrior if you're snowball, but you're not ahead to that extent. Just your mid laners pretty much 2v1ing mid.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, here, this is a mistake. You want to always hit the big wolf first because you have so much AoE from your Cinder and your Tiamat that the small one's gonna die on their own, and you're just wasting autos. You basically waste like 2 seconds there.
Okay.
Alright, so tier 1 mid is down. You guys have 3 tier 1s up. This is a stage where you can do Rift Herald if you know you have pressure with your team. Or you just look for a dive and then get a tier 1 from that tower because your lanes are so ahead, not counting Nasus. I'd say go drop a deep ward. Like at Raptors or the brush above red buff right now. But be careful your E's down because you used it. Jesus, this fucking chat.
Hi. This is like every game I play.
Interesting. I think, are they open? What are they doing?
Not sure, but I want to get Rift.
I guess they are open. Wow, this never happens when I coach. It's the first time. Interesting. Well, I think in that 50 minutes I still learned a lot I can help you on, so it's fun. Even if they are open. Tiamat. Look at this. 80 damage. It's insane. Well, I guess it's open. Huh.
Okay.
That's better for me because now I can go over the timestamps easier because the game is so short. Wow.
This actually hasn't happened to me in a very long time.
Yeah, this has never happened to me when I coach someone ever. Like actually. E. Oh, look at that, you took no damage.
Rip.
What the fuck just happened? Well then.
Okay.
I learned a lot that game. Did you learn anything that game?
Yeah, other than me kind of just taking Q. I don't know. I never did. I'd never done that before, but
I see. All right, so just
I think I did. I think I've maxed Q when I first started playing League.
on the old Warwick.
Yeah, I've only been playing League. It'll be 2 years at the end of this year.
I see. Well, typically on Warwick, I only level up my Q early game, like mid combat, but mostly it's just W max, so you can counter gank better, and yeah, good synergy with your celerity water walking. Anyways, go to your profile, match history. Let's watch the replay. While the video goes on, I'll talk about the points you could have improved on for future purposes. Alright. First point. What do you think is the first mistake you made this entire game?
Well, first clear, I didn't take the blast cannon, the blue.
Yeah, but like that's like a small thing. What's the biggest mistake you made this game so far when it started? That could have like changed the outcome of the game.
Oh, I took a red trinket instead of yellow.
No, what is the biggest mistake you made that could have actually lost you the game from the start? That's so minimal. That's like super small. Come on. You have to remember this. You don't remember actually?
No, I actually don't.
When you invaded red buff solo, when your mid laner recalled and Syndra had mid priority and it was warded by Riven, that was your first mistake that could have lost you the game. If Nasus came, you would have gotten double killed and you would have given the enemy team like 1,000 gold for no reason at all.
Okay.
Anyways, we're gonna go over your small mistakes, the biggest as far as the timestamps go from chronological order. So let's see this. First point I witnessed was when you smited blue. Do you know how much damage your Q does on Warwick and what it does?
Yeah, it heals you.
Yeah, and it does.
And I was like 3/4 health already at that point.
Right, and you could have just lost it with Q when your Q was up. So, like, all these small things add up. Like, you could have used your smite on Gromp, you could have used your smite on Scuttle if you're 1v1 or something. Like, this can be... It's small in the sense where, in this game it didn't matter, but in the future it can matter. You always want to use your basic abilities, and you don't have to drink your potion on the Warwick ever early game. They're just good for skirmishes or ganks or invades, etc.
Okay.
But yeah. So here you go do. Well, no, you do. No, you don't take the blast gun. Here, this is a lot of time wasting. Just holy shit. Go back 10 seconds. 15 seconds. Pause the moment you enter your top side jungle.
Oops.
Alright, pause here. Alright, let's count how many seconds it takes you to get to your blue buff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, you would lost 3-4 seconds not taking a blast gun because by the time you were there, the same path would have allowed you to take the blast gun. You would have lost like 4 seconds you could have been spending more efficiently. And trust me, as a jungler, 4 seconds is insane. 4 seconds more to get to your top one that's getting ganked, 4 seconds more to invade the enemy jungler. Wait, so Riven did do wrong. Anyways, just as a jungler, time is everything. Decision making, pathing, clearing, it just does so much for you. You want to be as efficient as possible, and you want to use your time. Like, time as a jungler is the best thing you can ask for. The more time you have, the more you can do, pretty much. And if you use your time wisely, then that's where your opportunities come from. So
Okay.
Even if you can save 0.1 seconds, it's a lot. Trust me. Anyways, this is where I don't really understand. You know your Q does like about 200 damage. Why would you smite it at 200, you know?
Yeah, and after I smited, I realized like I was already almost basically full health at that point. If I would have queued it,
yeah,
it would have been the same amount of health.
Yeah. Like right now, just from your pathing, you lost a lot of time. You could have done red, blue, Gromp, and you'd be pretty much done your Gromp by now. But luckily, against the Riven jungle, a really bad early game clear wasn't too big of a deal. Anyways, what's the next point? We went over that. Alright, this was the second point. Do not invade when you do not have priority. Right, remember when we talked about Nasus top lane? You're like, oh, my Nasus is feed. So why are we playing top side? Is there a reason for you playing top side? Do you invade?
No, there wasn't.
I understand. Like, I do this stuff too. I say my mid laner has no pressure. I'm still gonna invade, and I get fucking bit in the ass for no reason, because you want to play aggressively, and you don't want to take note of the consequences that can possibly happen. We saw him ward. Your mid laner's backing. We have all the information we need. We didn't look at Fizz top side to see how his wave was, but obviously a Fizz can rotate faster than Nasus. Fizz has like 2 mobility tools. Nasus has none. His Q is E. Nasus has nothing. So you're on this ward. Syndra sees you. I mean, it's scripted. It's basically a fucking movie at this point. We know how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
And Fizz rotated too. Honestly, if you drank your potions and didn't tank red buff so much, and Fizz wasn't there, maybe you would have gone a kill, but at the end of the day, it's not worth taking that risk. It's just free first blood to the enemy mid laner. I mean, in the long run, it actually helped you out because your mid laner solo killed him because he had no ignite, but we don't know how much it actually counts for, you know? Yeah. It's just not worth the risk, end of the day. Alright, this is the next point. What do you think is the next point? What's your next biggest mistake this game?
I feel like I especially early. I feel like I didn't ward enough, but
I mean, since your mid lane was winning pretty hard. You don't really have to ward because he was winning 2v1. But for the most part, like warding does not matter at this MMR. People still die to warded ganks. It really does not matter. Trust me. Your mistakes are dying 1v1, dying 1v3 in enemy jungle, stuff like that. These are big momentum swings that can end up costing you a game right from the start. So what is your second biggest mistake? Come on, you should know this.
Just in this game,
Yeah, like it's coming up really soon. Pause it. Pause it. Look at your health bar. You have not. We even told you to go refillable. I mean, obviously not used to it, but like if you're in the enemy jungle,
this is actually the first game I've ever taken refillable in Warwick. So
fine, but it would have actually got you a kill in this 1v1 situation, which is why I recommend it to newer Warwick players if you are newer at Warwick. But thing is, if you're playing so aggressively in enemy jungle, you wanna on your way out, you want to drink the potion just for the safety assurance in case you come across a certain situation, which we knew Riven was bot side. She cleared her top side, she just took her red. So we should already know she's bot side. I don't know if you had an idea she was bot side. We even saw her hold mid.
I saw,
yeah, she was holding mid. So we know she's going to go to her bot side because the camps are respawning. So the first thing you do when you leave the enemy jungle is drink your potion. Why? Because it's 120 health. Or what is it? How much? Left click it? I don't even know. I forgot. Press tab. Press tab. Go over it.
115.
No, 150. Refillable. That's a real potion. 125. Right. Over 12 seconds. That's like 4 or 5 autos of damage early game that you can negate. Especially on Warwick, who wants to auto longer, and he will have his cooldowns down earlier. If he can survive that much longer, it's just such a good item on him, and you always want to. Since you have 2, might as well just use 1 for the safety insurance, pretty much.
Okay.
Alright, so play this out.
Okay.
Funny thing is, look how close you are to winning this. Pretty insane. That's how good Warwick is. Really close. 1 auto, pretty much. And if you drank it, you would have won it. Simple as that. My tip is to always drink your potions if you think you're in danger or going to enter a fight, or if you're trying to regenerate to full health. Because you have to.
Okay. It's
really, really key. Okay, second point is... next point. Sorry. Your skill order on Warwick, like I said, you don't max Q. Early game, sometimes when I'm like level up mid fight, I'll take another point in Q for the extra combat power. But Warwick is a ganker / counter ganker, so you don't really level up your Q early game in a sense where you don't need it for the combat power. You just need it for the gap closer and the movement speed you get from burning down a lane or getting to a counter gank, pretty much. So for future purposes, 3 points W, max Q, max E.
Okay. Or so you don't max W usually?
No, you don't max W. It's not worth it. 3 points is way more than enough. But like I said, if you're in a fight and where Q can be the decider, and let's say you get level 4 mid fight, mid lane after you kill enemy mid laner, and then Riven gets on you, and you need an extra point in Q, that's a good time to level up your Q instead of your W because it offers you nothing in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Alright. Camp selection, path being efficient. So this one's really big. I don't really talk about this to lower MMR players, but when you're playing stuff like Nunu, Warwick, champions that can't really do AoE camps early game, you want to have your path in a way where you do not have to do those camps early game. Sure, you can like ward up for them and stop the enemy jungler from taking them, but for the most part, like the fact that you're doing Raptors so often, when like Krugs were up or I don't know Gromp was up, it's just bad target selection. And sure, you can be more closer to mid in the long run, but it's just more beneficial for yourself and it adds more consistency in a sense where you'll win games more often. Trust me, it's hard to understand, but the fact that it takes you 20 seconds to finish Raptors instead of doing Krugs in like half that time and allowing you to be on the map more often, it can be a game changer early game, like in the same sense where you can get to a fight earlier. Like remember, time is key, so you do not do these camps early game on a champion like Warwick unless you like rush your Cinder instead of Tiamat or your Tiamat early game or something, on Nunu or something. But yeah, you do not Do you see? This is why I told you to not do Raptors. You would have already been almost finished your Krugs. And also, I noticed you always have 2 smite consumption. It's good to like if you're going red smite. I mean, you can't even go green smite anymore, but you always want to use one of your smites. If you're not going to be in a fight very soon, it just again time. Time is key. You'll finish your Krugs faster, and your smite will be up anyways. Because the odds of smiting twice in a fight are pretty much 0 to none. It's pretty much never going to happen or this early into the game. Because after you use one of your smites, it's 15 seconds cooldown for the next one. But yeah, alright, also very important. On a champion like Warwick, this is similar to Jax. When I coach people, I say, do not use your leap on Jax unless you know for a fact you can A, get a kill, or B, get an assist. Simple as that. You do not use your Q aggressively ever when you do not have to. So if someone's melee range of you on Jax, you just auto them, auto W, whatever, and then when they use their escape or their movement speed bonus tool, whatever, that's when you Q at them, or if they use your flash, obviously. Same thing with Warwick's, like it's kind of similar, where if you know the enemy Alistar in the situation can flash away after you ult them, the moment they get out of their suppress, you're gonna hold your Q on Warwick because you want to pretty much follow him and be able to apply those red buff stacks and slow him down. Look at this. It's pretty good ult. You didn't hold Q because you would have maybe been able to kill Sivir. I think holding Q on Alistar would have hit you really close to Sivir, but luckily Dano was there. So let's go back 15 seconds again.
Okay.
Another 15. That was a long fight. Okay. So you press W. You know what your W active does, right?
Yeah, the blood.
Yeah,
trail.
blood sent towards the closest enemy. Alright, so that was actually really good ult. But notice I didn't hold Q on the Alistar. It would have brought you behind him, and I think you would have been really close to getting a last auto on Sivir. Press tab. Does she have boots or not? Okay, I think it would have been really, really close.
Okay.
But obviously, I had a lot of gold in this situation, so you're also lacking out on damage. But end of the day, it worked out. But it could have been better. You always want to look for the best, playing a situation the best of your mechanical ability, right?
Yep.
All right, let's look at this situation as well. I didn't write this down, but okay, this is a mistake from you actually. Okay, so go back 15 seconds. What does your Q do on Warwick?
Heals you, and if you hold it in, you're like unstoppable.
Right. Pause it. Pause. All right, left click it. Left click your Q on Warwick. Next to it. To the right.
Okay.
8% of your target's maximum health. So for objectives, typically when I start an objective on a champion like, I don't know, Lee Sin, Elise, everything does percent health damage. Well, Lee Sin and Elise, it's missing health, whereas for Warwick, it's just max health pretty much. So the moment you use your Q on Dragon, when you start it, you want to see how much damage your Q does, and therefore can use your Q to in combination with your smite, so you can get a smite steal off more clearly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So let's go back. Start where you started Dragon.
Okay.
All right. So let's see how much damage your Q does here. We can't even see it. Why are the numbers not showing? Whatever. Let's just say your Q does, I don't know, 200, 300 damage, right?
Yeah.
So your smite here does what? Left click your smite. 510. So instead of using your Q on Dragon to bring it down lower, faster, you want to combine your Q and your smite the moment it gets to that range of lethal, pretty much, to ensure the smite. Do you know how to combine your Q smites?
Yeah, I did. I played Nunu a good bit too.
All right, that's perfect example. Nunu is like one of the best Q smiters in the game. But for the most part, like in this situation, Riven could have stole it. Luckily, you didn't panic on your smite. Just did you notice how you used your Q on Dragon at 1k though?
Yeah,
That could
I
have
did.
been a game changer. Obviously, you guys are winning this game really hard. Mid tier one's down, etc. Your mid's winning in lane 1v2, but it can definitely be a game changer because I always say Infernal Dragons are the game changers in solo queue. So
Yep.
if it was like a Cloud, who cares, honestly? But end of the day, it's a free dragon anyways. You're playing Warwick, you have one of the best smite steals or smite secures, so you just want to use it. You know, it's better to
Okay.
use something when you have it rather than not do it. You know.
Yeah.
All right. This one is also another time saver you can rely on as a jungler. So I think here's when you buy your Cinder and then your Tiamat.
Yeah.
And this is where doing AoE camps becomes really easy. So basically your W, when you hit champions or, you know, camps, mobs that are lower than 50% health, your attack speed gets doubled or some tripled or something like that, depending on their health or your health, I think. So in this situation where you're doing wolves, you only want to hit the big wolf because all your AoE is gonna pretty much kill the smaller ones on its own. Whereas when you're doing raptors, sucks I can't show you. I wish you had raptors here, but you didn't. Obviously your top side's up, but when doing raptors, you focus a big one, you auto Q, Tiamat, whatever, and then that's when you start autoing the smaller ones because you get attack speed bonuses, and basically all the splashes are gonna hit all the other monsters around the camp. But it's you probably know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
But it's all about time saving, being as efficient as possible, and all these seconds add up pretty much.
Yeah, so you're early clear though. You want to kill the little wolves first because they.
Yeah, obviously early clear, but once you get your Cinder, your Tiamat, that's when you have so much AoE that does not matter. And this is where you start like doing camp super fast as Warwick because he has good single target clear, good attack speed, and good AoE from these items. Anyways, do you have any other questions regarding that game?
It's kind of not so much from this game, but like as a general question for jungling is like I originally was a top laner and then I switched to jungle like this season just because it was I found it more fun. But when you have all your lanes pushed, you have no camps up, and like let's say both sides, everyone's camps are up. Like, what do you do in that situation? Because that's always like I always feel like I'm running around.
What do you mean
just
both
aimlessly.
sides camps are up?
Well, let's say I clear my top and bot side, and I go to look for a gank, but every lane's pushed. And I'd say it's like level 4, so we can't really do like a tower dive or anything because they're full health.
All right. That pretty much depends on where the enemy jungler started. So if you know you started bot side, did you like mirror his start or something, or no?
Wait, say that again?
Did you mirror his start? Did you start on the same side of it as him, or not?
Well, for the most part, like every game I play, most of the time, whoever I'm jungling against, we always start bot.
Right.
So.
Okay, this is the.
There's sometimes like so I play Elise a lot. So like on Elise, like I'll usually get like also say I start bot. I'll do red, wolves blue, and then I invade. And most of the time they're at their red, and I get like a free kill. But like other junglers that like aren't good level 3, like Elise, that's kind of like where I have a lot of the issue with. But
all right, so the best advice I can give you is always know where the enemy jungler is starting. But this also goes based off of experience. So, do you know what the most the most common Nunu player clears in your MMR? Do you know what the most common Lee Sin clears in MMR? It all goes down to experience and being in these specific matchups often. So, if you know what clear path they take, that's where you pretty much go with your game plan. So once he finishes, let's say top side, like, do you think he's gonna gank your top laner? Do you have a vision or to perhaps counter that gank? It's hard to explain, but it's just like you have to know where he's gonna be. If you know where you started from, if you start bot side, he's gonna end top side most likely, right? So after doing his second buff, is he gonna do raptors? Is he gonna gank top? Is he gonna gank mid? Is he gonna invade you? Is he gonna do scuttle? Is he gonna do krugs? Those are all these possible options that can go forth after he finishes top side. and it's just up to you to see, is he gonna gank my Nasus, is he gonna gank mid lane, etc. It's just experience pretty much. Like obviously every player plays differently, but for the most part, from what I've seen, every level 3 jungler at your MMR will gank top lane. So
yeah, it's even like I made a new account and like played jungle there, and like it's always top lane that gets ganked first usually.
yeah, so if you're blue side, I guess wait in the brush. If you're purple side, also wait in the brush. If they're gonna go from the flank from the tri brush, but again, it's all experience and it's just a mind game essentially. If you know where they end their pathing.
Okay.
Do you have any questions regarding like objectives, build paths, etc.?
As far as dragons go, obviously Infernal's number one priority on the map, obviously. As far as other dragons go, like sometimes when it's, I think it's a cloud, usually I typically stray away from it unless like I know it's like a free dragon. I usually don't go for those, but like I feel like Infernal and Mountain are probably the two most important. So if I see those, I'll try to play around
Right.
that the most. But yeah, that's usually my biggest thing is like when to do dragon, when I shouldn't do dragon, or like when sometimes I play a lot of Camille, and once I get like Tiamat, usually by like level 6, I could probably solo the dragon and still be decent HP. So like sometimes I'll do that, but it kind of just depends, and that's kind of like what I have some issues with too as well. It's like when to do it.
Okay. When I do dragon, if it's Infernal, I try to as soon as possible. If it's another dragon, unless I'm playing for a 20-man Baron or a split push game, in a sense where you can get Mountain Dragon as soon as possible, I disregard dragon the whole game because it's gonna waste your time when it's not valuable or one of your win cons. Yes, it gives good XP, it gives 25 gold on the last hit, but for the most part, it's just better to extend your lead through other ways. I've never prioritized dragon aside from Infernal. So if you're already destroying the enemy jungler, why slow down and let them catch up through killing your lanes or such? But unless like your bot lane's about to recall, and let's say you have like a Vayne, something that's like percent out damage and take it down really fast, I guess then you can do it and you want to recall as well. But honestly, never force dragon. It's not worth it. It's also really risky in the sense where their enemy top laner or their mid lane with a global can prevent it. It can be a huge turn on the game. So that's why I never force dragon when it's not worth it, or if I have other ways to extend my lead on the enemy jungler or enemy team.
Okay.
That was a long sentence. All right.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, I just kind of, that's probably the biggest thing is when everything's pushed, like whether I to invade or to not invade.
Well,
I feel like sometimes if I choose to invade, and then their mid laner will like miss 3 waves of farm and come, and it's like a 2v1 at that point. So that's kind of like, and then I die and then I get flamed. So that's kind of like the biggest thing for me is when to gank or like go into the jungle and when not to and stuff like that.
I mean, again, it's pretty much all experience. Like the best thing this is never gonna. I think it's happening one time in the game. Basically, sorry. Let's say Lee Sin starts blue buff bot side on purple, does wolves to red, and then your mid and top notice that he's gonna end top side, so they ward both entrances. So let's say your top lane Renekton wards the Tribrush, and then your mid lane Karma wards the Raptor's entrance. So basically you have both paths of Lee Sin covered. The only way he'll go undetected is ward hopping over the wall. But like getting your team to do that is really hard. So I'd say just go for ward one path yourself, do Scuttle Crab, and then hug the other side of the other entrance if you know he's gonna go for a gank on that side. But that just comes down to how overextended your laner is, in a sense where if you're going to be able to counter gank it. But yeah, it's just all like mind games at that point because everyone plays different at every MMR.
Yeah.
Also, I have a question about your champ pool. Do you only play like these level 3 powerhouse champions, or do you play tanks as well?
I I guess I kind of have to be in the mood to play a tank because every time I play a tank, for me, I always feel that like every time I play a tank, like let's say I play Nunu for an example, I have 3 losing lanes almost every time I play Nunu. So at that point, it's like I can't, like, I don't do enough damage to like even like carry a game, even if I was to like 2v2 someone or something like that. So I try to stick with junglers who like I could at least do some damage with to maybe turn it around. That's why I mainly started playing Kha'Zix because I just saw like one of my friends mained him, and I just saw how much damage he did, and like turned the games and stuff like that. So I prefer to play more junglers that do a little bit more damage, but I can play tanks as well.
All right, I see. Let me see. Kazak's getting a buff. Curry's getting a buff. Kai's getting. Have you heard about Kai's jungle? Do you think you're gonna try it out?
I've I've done it in normals a few times.
I honestly think she might be broken next batch for jungle.
Yeah, with her passive or whatever that
Yeah, it's
you do more
actually
damage.
insane.
Yeah,
I'd say give her a
Yeah.
shot because she's pretty similar to Kaz. Like she's just a range Kha'Zix pretty much. So I'd say give her a shot next batch. But anyways, yeah, I think tanks are pretty. They're weaker than before. They're not weak, obviously, but they're less strong. Aftershock, Cinderhawk both got nerfed. So I'd say stick to your champ pool. It's fine for the most part. I don't think Elise is that great. Kha'Zix is pretty good. Play more work if you can, but pretty much utilize everything I gave you. Let me just give you the notepad so you can remember. These are all like super basic things. They're not like highly advanced. And if you can master all these points, pretty much you'll see a lot of progress and consistency in your game. And then once you get better at that, that's when you come to the higher aspects of coaching for a jungle role.
Okay.
Right, here you go. So unfortunately, the game was only 15 minutes. I didn't really see your team fighting, but I saw your ult. I mean, I don't know if you were aiming for Sivir, but it was a pretty nasty ult. You barely got it behind Alistar. In team fights, you should typically go for the squishy targets, the threats. But obviously, you have to keep in mind that there's going to be enemy champs that can counter your ultimate, your suppression. Like Alistar's Q, his W, his E. He has 3 ways of stopping your ult pretty much.
Yeah, that game Syndra had her E as well.
Obviously,
Too, so, yeah,
Riven, W, Fizz R, etc. But I'm pretty sure Alistar's. I don't know if you noticed his combo was most likely down. I think it was down. I'm pretty sure, but.
Yeah, I think I came in because they comboed Janna.
That's typically when you want to use your ult. So basically, you'll lead out with your E, Q, autos, etc., team out, whatever. And then once they use their defensive tools, then you know you can't get countered on your ult. That's when you go for the execute on ultimate. So you get all the DPS in and all the time pretty much to allow your teammates to do more damage or DPS.
Okay.
But yeah. All right. How much time do we have left? We have 10 minutes. That was long and expected for a 15-minute game.
What to you personally, like, because I played at least a lot last season. What to you makes her seem weak this patch versus last?
Well, at first it was stopwatch that prevented dives, but now it's like there's just junglers that can do more than she does. So let's compare Elise to Jax. What do you think is different?
I feel Jack's obviously a little tankier, so he can survive a little longer.
Right.
But I feel like his clear is a little quicker, so he can get around the map a little faster and make more plays.
I can pretty much name like 5-6 things from the top of my head that Jax is better than Elise. AoE stun. He has a tanky tool, his ultimate. Elise used to get extra armor and MR on her spider form, but now she doesn't. He has a gap closer, leap, on a very low cooldown late game at 40% CDR. Elise does not have any gap closers unless you count her Q and spider form as a gap closer, but it's not really one. I wouldn't consider it. He has also better clear early game, and he stays healthier than she does because her spiraling is just taking way more damage. They both have auto attack resets on her W. That's fine. Jax does mixed damage, whereas Elise only does magic damage. So itemizing against Jax becomes harder. If they go tabs, you can get a longer CCN. If they go Earth Treads, you do more damage on your autos, W. Also your ult, passive, sorry. And I guess his item paths are better. I mean, his items are more expensive, but once you complete them, you get a way bigger power spike, and you're pretty much a menace from throughout the game, whereas Elise only strong early game. Her mid and late game are pretty much trash now, honestly. Everything pretty much counters her. But yeah, those are right off the bat things I can name that Jax is better than her.
Okay.
Elise is just, yeah, she's forgotten.
Yeah, that's it. Because I'll play. Sometimes when I need to play AP, I like bounce. I don't know if I should play like a Nidalee or an Elise or Evelyn, but Evelyn. I feel like every time I play Evelyn, I just get shit on because I just get focused all the time and stuff like that. But
like assassins, like Evelyn Kha'Zix, basically your timing is the most important. It's something that it can't really be coached. It's all about experience. Like basically your timing has to be impeccable as an assassin jungle player. Whereas when you're playing something like Jax, you just go in, you go out of fights. It's just more forgiving on your playstyle. That's why I always recommend my students, if they're like lower than master tier, to play stuff like, I don't know, Nocturne, Warwick, Shyvana, stuff like that, that requires pretty much less efficiency in terms of positioning and timing when you want to enter team fights or assassinate a squishy target or threat.
okay. Yep.
As far as like your AP junglers, I think the only good AP jungler right now is like Evelyn. Jax is like, he does magic damage, but he's not really AP. And Nidalee's like okay. But there's really no good AP junglers. So hopefully they can like buff something. I don't know. They're all pretty shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Like no one plays Diana jungle. What else? What are the other AP junglers? Elise is like, I haven't seen Elise in like a fucking year. Nidalee she's quite popular. She's kind of like the AP jungle Lee Sin. If you don't snowball, you're just a heal bot or a shield bot in Lee Sin's case. But yeah, I'd say stay away from the AP junglers. Just keep doing what's working out for you.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
I think I'm good.
All right, so it was nice talking to you, man. Update me on how your games go, and if you have any other questions, let me know through Skype or Discord, whatever you want.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, take care, man. It was nice seeing you.
Nice. Yep. Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
That's it.